Hi everyone, welcome to our weekly Boma demo of our marketing software platform. My name is Charles Clark and I'm joined by Liz.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's demo.
Fantastic, so we thought we would just quickly take you through in about half an hour to 40 minutes all the great new features about Boma, show you how easy it is to send out social and email campaigns, also how to use the Zero Content Library, set up social ads on Facebook and Instagram, and then also how to use our lead capture pages. If you have any questions as we go through, you can type them into the Q&A or the chat boxes and we'll do our best to answer them. And also do keep watching because we've got a special offer for our attendees, which is 3 months free subscription, and we'll be giving you the code for that at the end of our demo today. So without further ado, I hand over to Liz and she can take us through the platform.
So I've got my screen shared here and I'm going to show you very quickly how to get started with Boma. Down the right hand side here you can see a number of little boxes that are ticked. I'm going to start with import contacts. Boma obviously gives you email, it gives you social, all in one platform, so it's multi-channel marketing made very easy. For email, obviously you need your contact list, and to do that simply click on contacts, import CSV file. All the details about how to do it are here. It's very easy, and if we go into contacts you can see the list of contacts that we've got imported. You can tag them, you can add tags to them, so we have got, let's go into someone here, and you can see that this person is tagged a VIP. It's also the date of them imported, but it might be an industry group that they're under, or across an industry, a vertical, for example, so that you can then send them specific information that they would be interested in.
You can add those tags at any time and you can also remove them. So as Liz said, if you've got, say, a group of agricultural clients, or maybe they're retail, or any way that you like to categorize your clients that makes sense to you, you can just go in and add them either in bulk when you upload the CSV or individually.
And you can bulk tag them, so it's very easy to add those tags. If we go, next step is email theme. Boma makes it really easy without needing to know special hex codes, etc., colors of your brand, to make a beautiful looking email. All you do is upload your logo, and when you've done that, Boma pulls out the colors from your logo and creates the beginnings of your email theme. So you can see here we've uploaded a huge accounting logo. The colors are pulled out here. You can add a hex code if you do know it. If I look at the button, for example, we could change that color there, and you can change that for individual campaigns as well. But we've chosen the yellow because it stands out in that email. The next step on your email theme is to make sure that you've got your physical address. So permission-based marketing makes sure, ensures that you are sending, Boma makes sure that you're sending your emails out under complying with global email legislation. So make sure you've got your return address, your postal address, and then at the bottom you can see your social links for your email footer. So this is as simple as going to your Facebook page and looking at that URL and putting that in there, and then what will happen is when your email template is created, you'll have the social icons of whatever social accounts you want to add to the bottom of that.
So you can see here that we've just got Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn. Obviously if you had YouTube or Google Plus or Pinterest, you can obviously have them in all here, and if you don't have any, you've just got a website, that's absolutely fine. You can just put the web address down the bottom and then that will be available for your readers to click through from your emails.
Save and exit, and last step is to connect your social channels. So Boma will connect to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn personal and LinkedIn business page, and Twitter. And once you're in here, it's simply a matter of clicking on the connect button. We've already connected these, and choosing the account that you want to connect to. So if you have, for example, a personal Facebook page, and you may potentially have 2 business Facebook pages, wait for the drop-down menu to come and choose the page that you want to connect to and post to.
Sometimes at this point, if you're not the person who has the access to your company's business page, you can always go and ask that person to come in and enter in the account details. They're encrypted, so they'll stay safe within Boma. Or the other alternative is that you can actually go into the team button just on the left-hand side, and you can actually add another member here. So you could add them, and then they could enter in the social network accounts, and the same for your Zero HQ account if you're a Zero HQ partner. So the great thing with Zero HQ, if you connect it, Boma to Zero HQ, it'll do two things. Firstly, it will sync all your contacts within Boma, and then secondly, it will also connect you to the content library, which we'll tell you about in a minute.
So if we go back in the dashboard, there is the content library, and we're going to have a look at that in a minute. This is an amazing resource, and it's added to every week with new content to kickstart your social media and email campaigns. So let's look quickly. To start a campaign in Boma, click on the new campaign button. You can choose to send an email newsletter, a social media update, a landing page, which we're going to look at in a minute, or create a social media page ad for Facebook or Instagram. Share to all free channels is email and social pages, and that's unpaid. We're going to start a campaign a different way. We're going to use the content library, and then just to give you a quick look at how this works, click on Go to Content Library, and you'll see there is loads of content in here. It's very high quality. It's written by Xero. Some of it is written by Boma on marketing, everything from cash flow, how to define your target market. There's a little bit on Xero, plan for your business, for example. And under each piece of content, if you click on the drop down under preview, you can see how that content will look across the channels or across the platform that you're going to send it to. So this one's obviously email, and you can see it's optimized for mobile. You'll be able to customize this. If you chose this piece of content, you can customize it and change it as you go through the easy steps of the campaign flow. Facebook, that's how it will look like as a Facebook post. LinkedIn personal, so that might be yours or a partner in your firm that is sharing that content on their personal page, and as a tweet.
I think the important thing when you're thinking about this content is that while you might find it really useful, it's really aimed at your clients and prospects. So if you think about sending them a piece of content on how to scale their business or tips around managing their cash flow, it's really the sort of advice that maybe in the past you were asked about by multiple clients, and then, obviously writing great quality content, it's really time consuming and it's quite costly. And we know a lot of accountants who have said, I would do it, but I'm really busy working with my clients. So the aim of the content library is to provide you with options so that you can start to nurture and build that relationship with your clients. And so when they say, look, have you got something on cash flow, or I'm a retail, be nice to see something about that on your social feed, you can come into the content library, find the pieces of content that match what you want to talk about, and then you can send them out. And as Liz said, and we'll show you, you can customize all the content as to fit your business.
So let's look at, for example, this piece of content, and we're going to deliver. If we click on all my channels, that will be email and social media. The first step, you'll see a name for this campaign, and you can change that. It's not seen by your audience, but you can change that to something that's meaningful to you. Click on Start, and the first page shows you've selected this piece of content with this image, and here is a suggested comment for your social post or email. You can change this here for all channels, or go into the next step and then customize it for each channel.
And customizing it can be quite important. If you think about how you talk to your LinkedIn audience, it's quite different to maybe how you talk to your Twitter or Facebook audiences. LinkedIn is much more professional. You might do more long form content, whereas Facebook is a little bit more casual. You might post more images about what you as a firm are doing, maybe some events you went to, whereas LinkedIn's sort of more opinion pieces. And then Twitter, obviously, we all know is really short form content, so it's a maximum of 280 characters, and you might use that to comment on things that you've read about in the news or opinions, or maybe just sort of fun short things that you'd like to post. So as Liz said, the great thing about Boma is that you can see all your channels here, and you're able to go in and edit them as you wish for each channel. And you can see here we've made a few changes to the post, and we've also added some hashtags, which are really great, and they help your content be found and searched on those channels.
You can see that Boma has suggested a comment for social, and it has suggested hashtags. None of those things you need to keep. You can change whatever you like. You could take things out, for example, or add things in, or use it just as a guideline for what you might want to write. So if we look at that post there, you can do whatever you like there, and then go through your individual platforms, and you'll see what that post content would look like. As a tweet, you'll see that there's a number counter here, which is really useful, so that when you're typing, you'll see that that number counter goes down, and that gives you an idea of how much character space you've got left. Facebook's a little bit different. Facebook's API wants to protect from fake news or false news, and therefore you need to create that post yourself. The workaround is easy. We just go into LinkedIn. I've copied that and pasted it into Facebook, or you write from scratch there. So those are the social pages, all ready to go. Under email, start by selecting the audience that you want to reach. We talked about tags before. If you want to use your tags, you can deliver to specific contacts using the drop-down menu and the tags that you've created previously, or deliver to all contacts. You can see that your subject line is there already, and the short preview description of your email. You can change all of that. You can also change, for this specific campaign, who you want it to be from. And have a look at these, particularly the short preview and the subject line. Those are the things that will be seen first by your recipients. So make sure that's compelling and that they're going to want to open it once they've read that. Select a template. Boma gives you access to a whole lot of beautifully designed templates. You can choose from previous emails that you've sent. You can see this is a demo account, so we've sent a lot of content more than once. If you've worked really hard on creating an email previously and you really like the way that looked, then you can choose that previous email template again. Theme templates are a bit more sophisticated, and they're really where you're starting from scratch. So, for example, a newsletter where you can add images and text. For the content library, use the instant templates. I'm going to choose Big Content Basic, and when I open that up, you'll see that our branding has come through, and then it's a matter of simply using the editing tools to create the newsletter that you want to send out. So let that open up. And there you can see my logos at the top. I've got the content there, and I've got social icons at the bottom here. And on the right-hand side, editing tools to change anything I want to in this email. So the first thing you might want to do, for example, is put a personal greeting in there. So if I click into this email and perhaps select a personal greeting, add a space, using merge tags, if you select the first name from the merge tags, that will pull the name from your contact list, so that it means that every email you send out is personalized for the recipient. You might go down and say, well, actually, within this email, I don't really agree with that last bullet. I'm going to take that out. I would like people to contact us, though, so I'm going to add a button at the bottom for them to make a call and make a time to discuss their business plan. So let's look at rows, which is the architecture of your email. Drag in a row for the bottom. And then we need to choose the content that we want. So we go into Content Panel, choose the button, bring that in, and then it's simply a matter of writing what you want on that button. So I'm going to say on this button, contact us, or it could be make a time, or learn more, or give us a call. And then over here you can see you can choose the action for that button. So it could be open a web page, which might be if you were, for example, wanting them to read more and there's more information on your website, then you would put that URL there. For this one, I want them to send me an email. So it would be mail to, and I put my address in here. The subject would be business plan, and the body would be, I'm interested in finding more about business plans. And it might be just one simple sentence that they can then add to. Once you're happy with your email, Actually, one other thing we should quickly look at is images. There is an amazing library of images in Boma. Boma gives you access to over 600,000 free images. So if I click on the image, I can change the image and I can apply effects and more. We go into the image library. You can see up the top you can upload and import. So if you have uploaded images before, they would be here. You can search free photos and simply type in a search term and choose from over 600,000 free images.
And you can really search for anything. You could search for business, buildings, food, nothing that you really can't search for. You'll find hundreds of images in each. And the great thing is that you'll never have to pay for any of them, and you can use them across all our different channels. So we know a lot of users out there often pay to belong to a monthly photo subscription service, or they have to spend time looking around the web on them. So with Boma, they're all in here, and once you've chosen a selection of images you like, they'll be stored always in Boma, so you can access them for future content. Obviously, if you've got images that you have yourself, or maybe you've been to an event and you've taken some photos, you can obviously upload them into Boma and you can use them again.
So we've just closed the email and we're looking now at the preview of the post. By clicking on that button, clicking on your particular channel and then clicking preview, you can see exactly what your Facebook post would look like, for example. And the final step is to schedule delivery. So you can either send that immediately or choose a time that suits. It might be that you're getting ready for a busy week ahead and therefore you're scheduling some posts for next week. It might be that you've got rather late in the day and it would make more sense to post it the following day. So your local time zone will be based on where your account is set up. You can actually change that if you'd like to, and then choose a date and a time. So if we go for following day at 10:15, and that's when our post will go out. Once your post has gone out, you can go back into campaigns and you can see the posts that this account has sent out. If we go into, for example, a post here, now this is a demo account, so the numbers aren't going to be amazing, but you can see, for example, under email, how many were processed and delivered. So if there are any issues with your email addresses, you'll be able to identify that there. How many were opened, if there were buttons or links in your email, how many clicks you got, and your open rate.
And actually, if you click into the numbers, you can actually see who took the action. So if you clicked into open, for example, you'll be able to see exactly who opened them, which is just quite handy to get a feel for which of your contacts is really engaging with that content.
Across your social accounts on Facebook, you'll see clicks, shares, likes and comments. LinkedIn, your impressions, likes and comments, and over on Twitter, similar. So you'll see for each campaign how that piece of content performed and across each channel as well. So that's really helpful for guiding the next campaign that you send. Back in the dashboard, I think it's worth looking at a couple of other things. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a landing page. A landing page is a way of obtaining new contacts for your contact list. And if we click on landing page, you can see that I've created a couple here. So if we look at, for example, managed super fund advice, a landing page is here we can see you can design your own landing page in order to collect emails, and it might be, for example, that you've got an event that you want people to sign up to. It might be that you want people to sign up for a newsletter, regular insights that you send out. This one we've said, okay, we want to promote super fund or retirement fund advice. So that's the name of it. You can change sign up. You can also choose whether you'd like to collect just email, whether you'd like first name, last name, maybe a company name. If you include a terms and conditions checkbox, then that gives you permission to then send them more information in the future.
I think also that's quite important. Privacy is a really key element of permission-based marketing, and so I suppose also permissions. So if you do make that checkbox, available. It just means that you can be sure that when you do, say, email them or get in contact with them, that you know that you have their permission. I think another thing that we could also talk about here is tags. So assigning tags is a great way for you then to track who signed up on a particular landing page. So you could add a tag which might be, booked 3-hour advisory. You can see in the tag creator here, it's just a matter of typing in the tag that you want, and then you create it, and then that tag will be in there. And then anyone who signs up using this form, when you go and search for them later on in the contacts, you'll be able to search by that tag, and you'll be able to see exactly who they were.
If I go and have a look at post submit, that's what your the person that puts information into that form will see once they've clicked submit. And you can also send them to a custom page. So for example, if you had Calendly or a calendar booking service, you could send them there and they could book a time with you.
Or that also could be to your website. Another item that we find is really popular is having some downloadable content. So that might be in the form of a quarterly report or some information on a specific vertical. So maybe retail information that you've come across. Then you could host that on your website, get the URL, and then you could put them in the custom page. And so what it means is that that content is actually gated. So in exchange for their email address, which they give to you, you then give them a really valuable piece of research or content which will help them with their business. Obviously, the great thing about doing something like this, and it's the same obviously with events or any other way that you collect an email address, is that then you've grown your email list, and then you can use Boma to send them future pieces of valuable information or newsletters or updates, obviously with the aim of developing that relationship so that in time they might become a client of yours. Or if they're already a client, you have the potential to either cross-sell or upsell with services that maybe they weren't aware you offered.
I've clicked publish on this landing page, and you can see now that there is a URL here, and I'm going to show you a way in which you could use that URL. So this landing page design, we go back into form fields, you can see I've changed it to book a time with our team for 1 hour free advisory. So for example, this might be a promotion that you run where you want to grow your client list. So that is something that you might put out on Facebook. And in order to reach a wider audience, we're going to look at how you would do that using a Facebook ad. So any post that you post to your unpaid post that you post to Facebook or LinkedIn will be seen by the fans and followers. If we want to reach a wider audience, click on social media ad, define your audience, and you can target a wider audience. So I'm going to click on Facebook ad. I want this to go out in my local area. So I've chosen an area. I'm going to choose a date range.
And you can obviously choose multiple. Yeah, you can choose also multiple locations, and then also we're going to look at interests in a minute as well. And so the interests are what Facebook knows your audiences or the audience you're targeting are going to be interested in. So this isn't just what they've said on Facebook, because we all know that a lot of people now don't specify their interest in Facebook anymore, but it's from their activity around the web. So every time you go onto a rugby website or a news website or fashion website or news or anything like that, there's a cookie tracking you, which then tells Facebook that you might be interested in this case, rugby or small business. The great thing about this is that it allows us to then specify those interests, and then Facebook will then show the ad to people who fit this audience. So in this case, they'd be from Mornington, between the ages of 30 and 55, with an interest in rugby and small business, and at the moment of both male and female genders. So you really get an understanding of how you can be super specific if you want to be, or equally you could be more broad and you could say, like, I want to target anyone with any interest as long as it's small business really, we give you all the tools that you need to do this on this Facebook page.
So once you've got your interests in there, make sure that you then look at your budget. Your budget is obviously based on a minimum of $5 per day. That budget goes direct to Facebook. I usually suggest that if we start we'll start tomorrow. Gives you a chance to go back and review, because it will sit in your campaigns folder until it's published. Go back in and choose how long you want it to go for. It's worth maybe looking at running your campaign for a week so that you can see how that's performed, and if it's performed really well, then you can run it again or make tweaks. So let's put a budget in there of 50 and click Save. And then design your campaign. So here you get access to Boma's free image library. We're giving free advice, and perhaps it might be over a cup of coffee, for example. And there's thousands and thousands of images. Just choose one that you're happy with. Save and continue. And define the content.
No, I think this step and the image step are really critical. If you've ever seen a really engaging news story or a really engaging social post, there's something about it that caught your eye. It might well be the image, but obviously the copy is really critical. So when you're writing this ad content, really think about creating something short and snappy, and something that is really going to grab the attention of your reader. So don't sort of write 500 words, sort of being sort of super in depth. Just get the point across, which in this case is book an hour for us and discuss your retirement savings, and we'll give you a free coffee. So really short and to the point, and also people on social media have very short attention spans. So don't make them wade through tons and tons of copy if you can get the message across really succinctly.
I'm sure I could write that a little bit better, but for the purposes of this demo, that will do. That gives us an idea. So now we want people to make a time. So you can contact us or send a message, learn more, download, for example, if you want them to download something. So let's put contact us. And if we go back into our landing page, take that URL, and under the website URL, that's what we're going to post here. And that means that they'll come through to the landing page, put their detail in, and we'll be able to contact them to make a time to discuss their retirement savings with them and give them coffee. So that's how you might create an ad and promote your business beyond the current audience that you reach on social and email.
And just the last thing where you go, the headline is the last thing we need to do. So this is, if you think about, if you could sum up in 4 or 5 words what you're wanting them to do, that's a really critical thing. So you can see where there's this typing that's sort of a slightly bigger text, and that's often the first thing that people see. So don't forget to pop that in now. And it's obviously, it sits nicely by the call to action contact us button.
Click save. And the final step is to preview and deliver. So we go back into the dashboard. We've now looked at email newsletters and social. We've looked at landing pages and social media ads. Have we got any questions, Charlie, on?
No, very, very quiet this time. A couple of questions from last week that came up. There was a question about if I want to do my own newsletter and use my own content, how do I do that? So it's really, really simple. You would just click on New Campaign, click on Email Newsletter. Again, you can call it could be October newsletter, anything like that. And then you get to what it is that you want to share. Because we're just going to do a newsletter, we'll just choose to share text. We put it in here, and this will actually be carried through into the newsletter in the next step.
And then you can create your newsletter from there. I think it's worth probably going back a few steps and just looking at the the URL share. This is a really nice feature of Boma, that if you come into the dashboard and click New Campaign, you might be starting to write a blog that sits on your website and you want to bring people to that blog and publish that, sort of promote that. Or it might be that you've seen something really useful online. If we click on, it could be either email or social or both, and click Start. We want to share a URL. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go into Boma's blog and select the URL at the top here. Place that in, and you can see that Boma creates a campaign for you from the content that you have written on that blog. Now, it does scrape out the hero image. It also scrapes out that first paragraph. If we go to the next step, you can then edit that so that it makes more sense as a post. So it's really long at the moment, but it's simply a matter of cutting a bit out, adding a bit in, and working out what you want to say as a little comment about the blog post that you're sharing, and doing that across your social media accounts and for email.
And you'll be able to see just the little red triangles on Twitter and Facebook. For Twitter, that'll be because we're over the character limit. So again, you can just cut out the text that you don't want. Make sure that you obviously leave the URL on there so that people can click through to your webpage. And then on Facebook, it's as before, to prevent fake news, Facebook doesn't allow software to sort of just pull in information. So once we're happy with the content in the Twitter post, we can actually just copy and then paste it direct into Facebook. So it'll only take you a matter of a few seconds to get the same effect.
And then schedule delivery. So we did promise 3 months free. So start your and if you type in the code that we're about to give you, you get 3 months free on us in order to really understand all the features and benefits that you have access to in Boma.
Yeah, so I've just pasted that into the chat panel. So it's Boma Web 3M, and I've also put a landing page that has a bit more information. So to take advantage of this, all you need to do is to go sign up for Boma and sign up for a free trial. Then when you're on the free trial, go to the billings page, and then it's just a matter of entering in this code on the billings page. You will need to enter in your credit card details. You obviously won't be charged, but this is just to activate the code and also to make sure that if you do any social advertising, that that can be billed, and obviously that goes straight to Facebook. So have it on us, try it for 3 months. Obviously, you can cancel it at any time if you're not happy, but obviously we hope you will be. And if you would like an in-person demo, obviously we can arrange that, and that's really easy to do. If you click on the help button, which is down the right-hand side of your Boma page, then you can see that you can search for FAQs, and you can also see the get a demo field as well.
And you'll see that within the app, you also have access to FAQs, the marketing resources, and video tutorials.
Yeah, so the FAQs are just anything that you might just sort of frequently ask questions. So how to upload a CSV file, or how do I send a Facebook campaign? The marketing resources, a little bit more in depth. They cover things like how do I go about designing a good website, or why is Facebook advertising important? Marketing resources, there's a ton of articles on everything from specifically accountant-based information. So, why should I'm an accountant? Why do I need to market? To more small business and digital marketing focus. So, how do I create a good website, or which social media network should I be on? And they're all free for you to use, and we hope that you get some benefit from them.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today. Any questions, let us know. You can email us at support@bomamarketing.com. We'll also be running these demos again every week. So feel free to tune in again if you've got more questions, or as Charlie said, get your trial started. That is a limited time offer. Get your trial started, and you can always ask questions within the app or book another demo.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you again another time.